Welcome to How We Play, Ashland University's first ever television show that focuses solely on the women's sports on campus. I'm Lydia Bice, thanks for tuning in. On Sunday, February 27th, in a game moved to Bloomsburg University, Ashland University's women's lacrosse team lost 15-4 to Lock Haven. The Eagles are 0-2 on the young 2022 season, while the Bald Eagles are 1-1. Ashland scored 1 goal in the first quarter and 3 in the fourth quarter, all unassisted. Junior midfielder Natalie Sontag scored twice for the second straight game, while fellow junior midfielders Maddie Gash and Cassidy Becker each scored once. Ashland's next game will be March 6th at 1 p.m. at Lewis. On Saturday, February 26th, the Ashland University women's tennis team traveled to Slippery Rock for a non-conference matchup. The Eagles lost 0-7, but with 2 extremely close singles matches by senior Gabby Hudek and freshman Claudia Adcock. At fourth singles, Adcock lost the first set 2-6, made a comeback in the second set and won 7-5, then lost a neck-and-neck 10-point tiebreaker 12-14. The Eagles' next match will be in Blacksburg, Virginia on Saturday, March 5th at 12 p.m. To continue our look into Ashland women's tennis, AU TV 20 photojournalist Claudia Adcock spent a day with AU women's tennis freshman Alice Aiding to learn what it's like for an international student athlete here on Ashland's campus.
Hi, my name is Alice Aiding. I am an international student here at Ashland University. I am a part of AU women's tennis team here, and I'm a freshman. We are really close at our team, and it feels like we're getting everyone getting along, and our coach is like really involved, and yeah, it's just been great, and everyone like talks to everyone, and we have a lot of fun. At the same time, we give always 100% when it's practice, and it's been great. Like, this has been a huge dream for me my whole life to go to college in the US. It's been a difficult time, but like in the end it was so worth it, and it was a lot of work to come here, but in the end it was worth all the work, and I'm so happy that I'm here today. So I choose to do exercise science, and I am planning to do personal training with that and turn out being a personal trainer. My plan is to go back to Sweden and do personal training. I'm not really gonna go to grad school because I want to spend 4 years here and then go home, but that's my plan. Maybe it's changed, I don't know. Anyway, but that's my plan now. Before it was like to be a physical therapist, but right now a little bit more into personal training. So being a personal trainer is what I want to do. I'm right now 21. So, but it's like I was injured for 3.5 years in my knee, and I did surgery, and it was a tough time. But so my plan was to go to the US like right after graduation when I was 18 and turning 19. So, but I couldn't because of my knee. So the main reason why I want to come here is because of my tennis, and just studying is just like a thing like on tennis. But it means a lot to me. Like, it's better late than never.
Thank you, Claudia and Alice. That was a great in-depth look at what life is like for an international college tennis player. Finishing play on Sunday, February 27th at the Blue Bridge Battle in Owensboro, Kentucky, Ashland University's softball team scored 4 runs in the top of the 3rd inning and 3 in the top of the 7th to earn a 10-3 win over Southern Indiana. The Eagles return home at 2-1, while the Screaming Eagles are 10-6. Sophomore catcher Jordan Severance paced the AU offense from the leadoff spot, going a career-best 3 for 3 with a career-high 2 doubles and 5 RBIs. Ashland will begin its annual Florida trip on March 6th against both Notre Dame College at 9 a.m. and Central Missouri at 11:15 a.m. For more on the Ashland softball season, AU TV 20's Mackenzie Flume sat down with members of the team to learn more about what they're looking forward to most as their season continues.
The Ashland University women's softball team is gearing up to kick off their 2022 spring season.
We're excited. I think we're at that point of preseason where we're just ready to be on the field, and we're ready to play and see really where we're at.
This is the team's first season being a part of the Great Midwest Athletic Conference.
I think going into the new conference, it's kind of just like a fresh start for us. It's going to be a new slate.
It's teams that we know. A lot of their players, our players know from travel ball and from high school. You know, we're very familiar with a lot of them. So, you know, it doesn't feel like a sense of anxiety for any of us because everybody seems really familiar. And I think a lot of people actually forget that we weren't in the GMAC because we've played those teams so often.
The team is kicking off the season in Owensboro, Kentucky for the Blue Bridge Battle. The team's goal for this season, have fun.
I feel like this year, as a team and me personally, we're just having fun with it, playing the game. We all came here because we love playing softball and just not putting pressure on ourselves and just having fun with it. I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in stats and personal achievements and stuff, but just playing fun and playing for each other and just loving the game.
With the way that the last 2 years have been, they really just want to enjoy being with one another and enjoy being on the field.
The excitement the team has goes far beyond this season and into the future seasons to come. The women's softball team announced that they would be receiving a brand new field of their own that is expected to be done for their fall 2022 season.
I'm so excited. Obviously, like I think we're the one sport that doesn't have their own field.
I think just like a sense of pride in like being able to go to a field that's ours in a beautiful new place that people can come and play and just call our own. Not that we're not proud of ourselves now and stuff, but it'll definitely add just a little bit more pep in our step and just wanting to go out and play and show up for our school and people that have helped get us to this point with the field will be really exciting.
Coach M and her team are so incredibly grateful for the opportunities they have at Ashland University as women in sports.
Sometimes I think it's hard for our girls to really wrap their heads around how I don't want to say spoiled, but how special they have it.
I feel like a lot of times men are the center point and the focal point of sports, and just being able to show that women can do the same exact things and just have a platform, even if it's not the biggest one, just being able to inspire even just a couple girls that they can do it.
I feel really lucky that I get to stay in women's sports and see how our sport has grown.
The alumni base backs us up 100%. They're always there for us, supporting us. So I think that's super important too, to have that outside of just our little circle. We have people all around who are wanting us to do good and succeed at softball and in life.
The bond this team has transcends on and off the field.
We are like one big family. I know we say that every year, but I feel like each one of us would go to war for anyone every single day, which is super important because I feel like a lot of times teams aren't like that, but I know each one of us would do anything for anyone. So putting that on the field, we all just want to play for each other and play to win for each other.
For Ashland University TV 20, I'm Mackenzie Flume.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I know we're looking forward to keeping up with the AU softball team as their season progresses. On Saturday afternoon, February 26th, at the Cheryl Hudson Court at Cates Gymnasium, the Eagles ran past Hillsdale 95-54 on Senior Day to not only clinch the Great Midwest regular season championship, but give them the right to play host to the conference tournament Final Four on March 4th and 5th. Coach Carrie Pickens said that she thought it was a great way to honor the team's senior class. Ashland ends the regular year at 26-2 overall and 21-1 in the league, and Hillsdale does the same at 13-14 and 10-11. Continuing with our women's basketball coverage, AUTV 20's Carrie Smith is sitting down with head coach Carrie Pickens for a closer look at her team's success.
Thanks, Lydia. Right now I'm sitting down with Coach Carrie Pickens, fourth-year head coach of the Ashland University women's basketball team. Coach Pickens, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get into the questions, I just want to say congratulations on your 100th career win you recently got. That's quite an accomplishment.
I appreciate it. I've had an amazing staff and team to be able to get to that number, so shout out to them.
Absolutely. So getting into this season, you and your team have had a tremendous run so far. Top of the standings of Division II, GMAC, and the GMAC as well. And just having the long winning streak you guys had for the majority of the season. Let's talk more about some of the aspects of your team's offense and defense that have made these achievements possible.
Yeah, so our program has 4 offensive and 4 defensive identity points. Offensively, transition, rebounding, inside-out basketball, and execution. And then defensively, our 4 identity points are rebound, persistent ball pressure, aggressive ball screen defense, and discipline denial. And so everything that we do, every game in terms of preparation, we always go back to those identity points whenever we're trying to scout how to guard certain players or certain actions, or how are we going to score against their defense. Everything always goes back to those identity points and what we want to be known for.
Absolutely, and definitely working on those to make sure that all of those are met throughout the entire game as you do it.
There are obviously some games where it's been better than others, but at the end of the season, our hope is to be able to hang our hat on those identities.
Absolutely. So looking to the entire team itself, could you briefly describe the team dynamic and this year and how it has led to the team's success?
The team dynamic is really fun. I've really enjoyed this group. I think we have 4 seniors this year who have really led the way. 2 get to play pretty significantly, and 2 haven't gotten to play as much. They still get minutes in games and everything like that, but their roles look different. But no matter what, those 4 have been bought in from day one. And I think that that's really set the tone and the expectations for what our program should look like, is that it doesn't matter what your role is in terms of the game. Every role is valuable and every role is important, and we want to celebrate and highlight that. And I think that those 4 have really done that well and just helped us to have a lot of fun this year. We have a lot of new faces. While we had a successful tournament run last year, we have a lot of new faces who get to play significant minutes. Macy Spielman, Haley Smith, Morgan Yoder, all 3 of those were not in rotation last year, and they are playing a lot for us this season. And they just bring a lot of fun energy that I've been really thankful for the opportunity to coach those groups.
So as we're getting towards the end of the regular season, what has your team been focusing on going into this GMAC tournament coming up?
So right now we haven't looked too far ahead to the GMAC tournament. We had a really tough finish to the season. We played KWC, Walsh, Malone, Findlay back-to-back, Hillsdale, all teams who are fighting to make the GMAC tournament or are already in. Like we finished with the top of the league. And so it's been a grind the last couple of weeks, and I think our focus has very much been one game at a time.
Yeah, especially since you said all of those teams have sort of established themselves in this tournament, you're getting sort of prepared for what's to come.
So. Very much so.
Yeah. So what is the most rewarding part of coaching this team, especially since you were once a member of this team as an AU student?
I think it's just really fun, the platform that we have. The community support at Ashland is incredible. And so one of the most fun things for me is to get to see our current players form relationships with people in the community and to see like those relationships flourish and develop, because we all know Ashland, it's a lot more than just the education that you get. It's about the whole experience and the relationships that you form. And I think that our players have been able to do that during their time here. And that has been what's most special for me and what's been most fun for me to be able to witness.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Coach Pickens, for sitting down with me. It was a pleasure to get to talk to you, and good luck to you and your team as you finish out this regular season and head into playoffs.
Thanks so much for having me, Carrie.
Absolutely. Lydia, back to you.
Thank you, Carrie and Coach Pickens. Good luck to AU women's basketball in their conference tournament. The Ashland University Stunt team is set to make their competition debut as their first season was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I was able to sit down with Coach Denise Farnsworth and a few members of the Stunt team for an in-depth look at their preparation for the upcoming season. The Ashland University Stunt team is preparing for the start of their official season here in the spring of 2022. Their competitions were put on hold in 2021 when the team began due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, they are ready now more than ever to face their competitors. Members of the AU Stunt team have been preparing for this upcoming season from the moment that they arrived back on campus in August. Coach Denise Farnsworth has her team practicing multiple days a week, as well as completing individual workouts.
A lot of these girls are also football sideline cheerleaders, so they've actually been in season since mid-August, and they work out 3 nights a week. They practice 3 nights a week in the fall, and then that transitions into 4 to 5 days a week when season starts, and then we still continue with our 3 team workouts a week as well. So quite a bit.
Since Stunt is relatively new to the Ashland community, it may be difficult for community members to differentiate Stunt and sideline cheer, but the key difference is competition.
It definitely is a derivative of sideline cheer itself too, but it has that competitive cheer atmosphere. And I really encourage students and faculty to come out and just see what it's all about, because it just brings that atmosphere of energy and fun, and you just get to see your cheerleaders that usually are cheering for you, and you get to cheer for them, and it's going to be so fun.
The implementation of the Stunt program has given both the student athletes and coaches the opportunity to compete in the sport that they are passionate about.
I was recruited in high school to come be a part of the stunt team. It first started out with sideline, and I've always loved sideline cheer. That's my first love, is sideline cheer. But I love the competition aspect that stunt brings, and I'm really excited for the season to start. So once we had the opportunity to have the stunt season, I was really excited to get started and get back into the competitive atmosphere of cheer.
I've studied all backgrounds of it and coached so many different levels, and I took 2 years off when I had my second child, and there was just something missing in my life, and then the AU job came available, and I went back to it, and honestly the college part of it has just given me like a new passion for all of it, and it's even more intense and just so exciting.
Ashland University Stunt will face the University of Kentucky in their first competition of the season on March 12th. For AUTV 20, I'm Lydia Bice. It was so nice to sit down with Coach Farnsworth, and I know that I can't wait to watch the Stunt program as they complete their first official season. That's all for our first episode of How We Play, Ashland University's first ever television show that focuses solely on the women's sports on campus. We hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the women's sports on campus, especially as we celebrate Women's History Month during March. I'm Lydia Bice. Thanks for tuning in.